Okay, welcome to day 2 of exponent properties. Last class we did the product of powers. So whenever you're multiplying two bases together with exponents, we added our exponents. So when we multiplied, we added. And then we also learned that when you divide, we subtract. So we subtract. The other thing that we worked on last time was what to do with a negative exponent, which really just turned it into a fraction. So we would cross the line and change the sign was kind of the rule that we gave it. Today what we're going to focus on is when you've got a base being raised to an exponent and then you raise that whole thing to another power. So a power to the power is what we're going to work on today. All right, so let's just start with our rule. The rule that we're going to have for this is whenever you're raising a power to a power, you're going to multiply your two exponents. If we look at what that means, we've got x squared raised to the third power. So what that really is x squared 3 times. So x squared, x squared, x squared. So we have just taken x squared and rewritten it 3 times. If we went ahead and broke that down more, that's x squared times x squared times x squared. That's x to the 6th power. So x to the 6th power is our answer, but if we'd followed the rule, we would have multiplied the 2 times 3 and gotten there just as quickly. All right, so when we're looking at number 1, we've got a base of q raised to the 5th power, and then the whole thing is being raised again to the power of 3. So our rule says when it's power to power, we're going to multiply. So 5 times 3 is q to the 15th power. Okay, so that works just the same for negative numbers. If we're raising a power to a power, we multiply. So negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So it's a to the negative 8, but remember we don't leave things in a negative exponent, so it's a fraction, so we're just going to rewrite it as a fraction, 1 over a to the 8th, and that gives us the answer. Okay, so I want you to pause your video and do number 3 on your own, and then check back, make sure you got the right answer. Okay, it was very straightforward. 3 times 3 is 9, so that's a to the 9th power. Now let's look at number 4. Number 4 is actually combining two different rules. We have multiplication where we're multiplying x times x squared to the 4th. Before we can do the multiplication though, we've got to take care of this x squared to the 4th. So what this comes down to is x times x squared to the 4th, 2 times 4 is 8, so x times x to the 8th. Okay, so now we're multiplying, back to the rule we learned last class. When you're multiplying bases that have exponents, you add the exponents. So the answer comes out to x to the 9th power. Okay, so now that you kind of see how the power to the power rule works, we're going to combine, kind of like we just did on number 4, we're going to keep combining with other rules that you already know and already understand. So what I want you to do is look at number 4. And one of the ways that it helps to think about this is I think about it, let me make it a little bit bigger, think about it as inside power and outside power. So if we look, what we've really got is we've got our negative 4 to a 1 power and our d to a 1 power. So we have an inside power for both of those. So let's just rewrite it. Negative 4 to the 1 power raised again to the 4th power, and then d to the 1 power raised again to the 4th power. And when we do that, it makes it a lot easier. So we've got negative 4, 1 times 4 is 4. So negative 4 raised to the 4th power, which if you put that in your calculator is 256. And then we got d to the 1 times 4, so d to the 4th power. So we just put several of our rules together. Okay, so again, now using that same concept of inside power times outside power, I want you to do number 5 on your own. Pause your video while you do it, and then start the video back up and check on the answer. Okay, so when you're looking at this, we end up with negative exponents, which means we're going to end up with a fraction. We're going to have to put it down on the bottom. But if we start out, we have negative 3 raised to the negative 3rd power and f raised to the negative 3rd power. So I'm going to move both of those down to the bottom of our fraction, and then negative 3 raised to the 3rd power is negative 27, and then f raised to the negative 3rd power is just f to the 3rd power on the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and look at number 6. Again, I want you to pause your video. Before you do it, though, think about each one of these inside powers are a 1. And hopefully that'll help you get this one done. So pause your video, give it your best shot, and then check back for the explanation. All right, on number 6, I ended up with 4 to the negative 3rd over x to the negative 3rd. Those are both change the sign and cross the line, so I flipped it upside down, and that gave me x to the 3rd over 64. Okay, on number 7, again, remember you got inside powers and outside powers. Pause your video, go ahead and do number 7 and number 8, and then check back for the explanation on both. Okay, just check and make sure that you were able to multiply inside power times outside power, and that you went ahead and simplified on number 8, the 3 squared equals 9, and those were very straightforward otherwise.